Hi guys, welcome to Life Notes, a page from life, one episode at a time. Friendship therapy. The other day I was with a friend and then we're talking. I didn't plan on saying much, but I ended up talking about everything. We spent like an hour on the phone. Initially, it was just to say hi, and besides, they didn't. I wasn't even the one that called them. They called me just to say hi, and as we were talking, the conversation, transition into me starting to tell them that I'm not really feeling okay, and telling them what the issue is, just on the surface. But because of constant questions, that I was being asked, I was like, you know what, let me just spill it. And it wasn't intentional. I just ended up saying everything without even knowing. And after I said it, I felt so light. I felt relieved. I was like, I needed that listening ear. And you called me at the right time. Maybe I should have made the move first by calling my friend. But at the end of the day, there was a conversation, and I felt so relieved. I felt, positive. And that is what friendship therapy is about. Someone who will listen to you, someone who would not think you bothering them, someone who would pay attention to you, someone who understand what you're saying, and someone who would tell you as it is. You don't necessarily have to have like so many friends. Just even if you have just one friend is enough. That one friend can do so much for you. I mean, that one friend that you trust can actually do so much for you than having like 10 friends who are just there in your life, but you don't really know what they are there for. Anyway, it reminds us that we are not alone. And aside that, it also, you know, makes us laugh. Sometimes some of the things you worry so much about, when you start talking to somebody, they're so funny to the extent that they actually make you laugh like in that situation to come kind of like calm your nerves down. And there are people who are not also funny, but when you talk to them, they listen to you like they pay so much attention, and then they look like extremely serious, like they want to really know what is going on and want to see if they side with you or not, and want to tell you as it is. And there are some people that are so honest, they'll tell you as it is. But there are other people that when you talk to, because of the friendship they have with you, they feel like, if I tell her the truth, she'll probably not want to talk to me again. She wouldn't want to accept the truth. But let me tell you something. If you're someone that is facing an issue and you're talking to someone about it, be prepared for anything. Because if you really want them to be honest, then you should be open to accept the criticism, right? Whether it's positive. I mean, if it's a positive criticism, you should be willing to actually take it. It's not every time you call a friend to talk to about an issue you have with somebody or something you're facing at work, and then they side with you to blame your manager, or they side with you to blame that other person you're talking about. It's not all the time that you guys would be on the same page. Sometimes what you expect, the response you expect from somebody might not necessarily be the same thing that they would actually give you. But if you really know your friend very well, you can actually predict. But some friends are just not predictable. It's hard to predict them, to know what their response is gonna be. And some people can just catch you by surprise. You tell them something, and then they respond to you, and you're like, oh my God, why didn't I think about it? Oh, that is why I have you. That is why you are there. So you make them feel like they're special in your life. And that way they will also want to contribute to whatever you're telling them, you know. Sometimes there are friends that, like, not even sometimes, but there are also friends that, like, you know, you don't ask them for advice. You just want to, you don't, you know, you just want a listening ear, but you don't want advice. You don't want them to advise you. You just want someone to talk to. Sorry, but you don't want them to advise you. You know, you just want them to listen and be like, okay, 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 okay. And that is it. Because when they advise you, you will not take it. You will not take it because you know what you're doing. So sometimes what I really wonder is, why do you tell somebody something, you know, and they advise you and then you don't take it? You don't have to take whatever your friend is telling you or the advice they're giving you. Some people, you don't even ask for advice, they tell you. Just tell them, oh, you know what, I'm having issues with my boyfriend, I'm having issues with at work, I'm going through this, that. And then the advice setting from nowhere, they'll tell you, oh, block him, don't do this, don't do that, or you know, quit your job, it's not helpful, or this. You know, you don't even ask them for advice, but they go ahead to tell you anyways. I mean, it's fair because they didn't also ask you to, and they didn't tell you to tell them what you're going through. You willingly open up to tell them what they're going through. So I guess they also willingly, you know, just telling you what they feel about the whole situation. So I guess it's fair. There are others that will come to you for advice. You advise them and they don't take it. But then they come back to you again. When they do it the opposite way and it doesn't work for you, they come back to you again to cry and to complain about the same issue. And you're like, I told you about it, you know, you just didn't want to listen. But in that moment, they just, you know, they don't want to agree with you. So why are they even telling you in the first place, you know, to help them solve whatever issue you're going through if they're not going to take whatever you're going to tell them? And there are other friends, they're always laughing when you approach them to tell them what you're going through. They start laughing at you. Like, not because they want to laugh, but this is their nature. They just laugh at people. Not because they actually are not sensitive or, you know, to the situation, or not emotional, you know, but it's just their nature. Like, they don't take things serious. You end up approaching them and they start laughing. Sometimes it's good because that way it helps you to kind of like release stress. I mean, you both end up laughing about the whole situation, and maybe that would help moving forward with the kind of decisions that you make about the situation you're going through. There are also some people that like want honest opinion, even if it will hurt them. They just want the truth. If they are wrong, tell them. If they are right, tell them. That is who I am. If I do something and it's wrong, I mean, who even defines what is wrong? I mean, certain things have become so obvious that if it is wrong, you obviously know it's wrong, right? If it's right, you know it's right. So I'm that type of person that when you tell me something and it is right, and I feel it's right, I mean, I wouldn't get upset. Just present it as it is. Whether you agree with me or not, that is your opinion. Everybody has an opinion. So that should not prevent you from being friends with somebody just because they told you whatever their opinion is and what they're thinking. If it is reasonable, why not? It's not as if they're kind of like sabotaging you or making you feel like you're nobody or something like that. They're just telling you that, hey, what you did, you shouldn't have done it that way. And besides, That's another thing. If you criticizing somebody, at least let them know what they could have done. You don't just leave it like that and be like, oh, don't do that, you shouldn't have done that. Okay, like, how should I have done it? Immediately you say that I shouldn't have done it this way, then you chip in like whatever you think I should have done, and be like, oh, I think if you had done it this way, it would have been good. What do you think? And then you pose the question back to them, be like, what do you think about that? Don't you think if you had done it that way, it would have helped? And then, you help to make the person reflect, to come to side with you in a way and regret whatever happened or whatever the issue is. Yeah, I just felt like that is how to go by it. But hey, everybody and how they resolve issues, and who they talk to, people they trust, and all of that. But you know what? Sometimes, let me say this. Let me use this to end. Sometimes, you know, you're facing an issue, and maybe it's something that is really bothering you, and then you call a friend to tell the friend, oh, you know what, this is what is going on. I don't want this, I don't. You're telling them just to vent your issues, just to vent what is going on. And then the other friend, the listener, tells you that, oh, you know what, you should have done this, or probably you're just listening without saying anything or actually advising you, and it's like back and forth, and you have a good conversation. It's like, okay, you feel better. Then you go back, and then it's like the problem still continues over and over. You go back to them again, come back, it still continues. You go back again, come back, you still go back to your friend, back and forth, back and forth. It can be stressful. Sometimes they don't tell you that the whole situation has become stressful because they love you and they want to listen to whatever you're going through and help you come out of the situation. But it can be so stressful. So stressful if you go. It's like back and forth, like for over a month. You're still going back to your friend to vent your problems on that same topic, and it's like your friend keep advising you, and it's like you don't want to listen, but you still want to come back and talk to them and vent your issue and release whatever you're going through, and go back and come back, and it's like you're not listening to your friend, and all you do is just to come and vent and go back. As much as they're actually willing to listen to you and all of that, I feel like sometimes you should be considerate in how often you reach out to somebody to tell them you're going through something. If you don't have anybody and they are your only friend, and you feel like their therapy is helping you, and whatever advice they give you, you are taking it and it's helping, and you keep coming back, that is better than going to the person every single day and not taking their advice but keep bothering them. If you're taking the advice, at least they know that the time and energy they're spending with you to resolve the issue is worth it, it's yielding results. But you don't listen to them, and it's like you keep going, you don't listen to them, and the issue keeps occurring, and you keep going back to them. It's like whatever they're telling you, it's like waste of time. You're not listening. It's like you've already made up your mind that this is how you're going to react, this is what you're going to do. And so why are you still bothering them if you've made up your mind? I know the agenda is just to vent and let them know that this is what I'm going through. They're probably also going through a lot of things, like crazy stuff that you probably don't know about. I love to speak to friends and kind of like I don't really have much friends, but just a few people, or that one person that I really trust and I want to confront and tell the person that, okay, you know what, this and this and this. When they advise me, I kind of like, and most of the time, the advice is good. It doesn't come across as if like, okay, I don't have to take their advice because it's not gonna help me. Sometimes most of the time it's good, because that is why you need to choose your friends, right? People that will tell you the truth as it is and help you to be able to resolve your issues. So when they advise you, it comes from a good place, and it's like they're actually willing to help you to resolve whatever issue it is. But if you still don't take it, even though it's good and all of that, just because you have your own reasons, that is also fine with you. You can just do whatever you want and it's good. Yeah. So I feel like we should make good use of our friends. They are there to help us. They are there for us no matter what. But we should not also abuse the times that they're spending with us, just, over and over again, because sometimes our friends also need, a little break from all the back and forth. Sometimes tell them good news, something for you guys to laugh about, to be excited, but not all the time come back to vent and tell them, this is what I'm going through, this is what I'm going through, this is what I'm going through. Yeah. And it's also good to have a friend who'll be with you, whether rain or shine or whatever. But it's about being, concentrating some of the things that you share with them and how much time you take from them to resolve your own personal issues. Anyway, my food is getting cold. It was actually an interesting topic. It just helped me to kind of like reflect on certain things. And what do you think about this? Have you had some experiences that you like to share as well? Has this kind of like reminded you of something? You can actually put it in the comment section. So this was Life Notes. Thanks for sharing this moment with me. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe, like, and share, and put in your comments like I said. I'll see you next time with another page from life. Bye.